Just so we're clear, that is actually a normal sized adult sofa.
Very good.
I'm not really here, it's research. I'm Louis Theroux.
I hope you appreciated that title. I was going to call this video The Mountainous Mountain of Food, so you got off lightly.
If for some crazy reason you haven't seen Game of Thrones,
Spoiler alert, this man took the Iron Throne. This video is not a judgment of this man. For me to make judgments about an elite strongman would be as dumb as Dumb and Dumber. This video is presenting a topic for discussion, including his own words, chronicling, is that a word, in a day, how he eats, and how that may affect his health and his performance.
202 kilograms, 445 pounds. 17 weeks back in time from now, I weighed like 175. I've gained, 24 kilograms. That's just how it works for me. I always get lighter off season, and I always get heavier on season.
And let's be honest, a whole day of eating videos are terrible. However, in this case, this is a genuinely interesting application of this video format for discussion. Fun fact, that watch is actually a wall clock. And indeed, this video intricately involves science in relation to energy balance, for example, the calories in through nutrition and the energy expenditure through movement and other means.
introducing
One of the world's strongest men, an actor and YouTube personality. Nicknamed Thor, he also goes by the name The Mountain from his character on Game of Thrones. Real name, let's just call him The Mountain. 10,000 calories of food would be a mukbang in some areas of YouTube. Nikocado Avocado is looking on jealously. Not me. I do, however, think he mukbanged that man's surname. Please, YouTube Lods, tell me that someone made I ate like the mountain for a day video. Fist bump. If you are not a 200 kilogram strongman, eating that many calories for a challenge is silly. And so this is a common type of question I see in the comments section. Is this person healthy relating to, for example, strongmen or elite athletes who have a high level of caloric input? And so for some of you, this may seem like a common sense answer. However, the deeper we get into the issues surrounding the mountain's caloric intake over a day, actually, the more multifactorial it becomes. This is actually quite a nuanced discussion because on the one hand, yes, we have 10,000 calories, which is a huge caloric intake in a day. However, on the other hand, we have a strongman athlete who, let's just say, is quite a large fella. That was diplomatic. Dude is a tank. And then we have the fact that he does compete in strongman, which is, if you like, an elite sport, an extreme sport in what it requires the person to do. And so again, when we think about his consumption of food, it takes on many tangents in relation to his body mass, his daily movement, his specific strongman training.
Naturally, I burn a lot, throughout the day. And if I don't finish my 6 meals every single day, consistent, don't take any breaks. If I don't do that, I get lighter.
And also his performance within his sport during the event, where of course he does need a supply of energy specific to his sport.
I like to just try my best to eat my meals because, I treat my body the same way I would treat my brand new car.
Let's just call it a Hummer.
To treat it well so you can run for a long time. While we're competing, lifting these heavy weights, we want to fuel the body up with good nutrition so we can recover faster from all the heavy work.
And so here is one of the key points. He talks about his weight and his consumption of food to regulate his body composition and his weight in relation to his performance.
To be honest, I don't want to be too much heavier. I don't want my weight to affect my endurance too much in some of the events, for example, the Wheel of Pain or the Trial by Stone event, where you actually have to have, some endurance as well. So there's a fine line for me.
So let's have a peek at the mountain's food. That was a solid pun.
so shut up.
Meal 1, 7 a.m, 6 eggs, bacon, 3 French toast. Meal 2, 9:30, rice, spinach, bison.
I love spinach.
10 Popeye jokes just came into my head. And then he takes loads of supplements. Midday, he doesn't tell us what he eats exactly, but he does make delicious noises. But watching it does look similar to the last meal. And so interestingly, in this meal, he does talk about his food choices and digestion. When he's taking in so many calories and 6 meals a day, digestion is of course an issue.
I choose bison or some ground meat, is because easier to chew.
Meal 4: carrots, rice, steak, spinach, eggs, chicken broth.
You get the idea.
And this specific video was preparation for the Arnold, which was of course cancelled. And again, I like to take every opportunity at a time like this to wish you the best in your health at this time. And so first and most importantly, what do you think about his 10,000 calorie intake per day? Some of the comments onto the last video were incredible. Thank you, including one person who's done over 20 weight cuts.
Joke of the week.
Let's dig into the old folder here. And you're back. Trust me, that ain't a sight you want to see. Looking forward to this week's offerings. And so his video was 34 minutes, which does sound like cardio. I'm out, just kidding. I watched the whole thing and I've condensed it for you in this video. But of course, I've linked his video below. And of course, I recommend that you watch his video for full balance and for full context.
And off season, I also don't train as hard. I don't take all my supplements all the time. I just give my body, a small break. And I get lighter.
And so first of all, when we approach this question, we have to think of energy balance. And I've talked about a calorie deficit, maintenance, and a caloric surplus, and how that affects your body composition ad nauseum on this channel. So I don't want to repeat that, but I do just want to go over a few basic terms for you. For example, we have basal metabolic rate, which essentially is the amount of calories your body is burning just to keep the lights on, just to keep the daily living functions going, if you like, just to keep you alive and active. We also have resting metabolic rate, which is similar to your basal metabolic rate, but slightly differs in that it's slightly less restrictive in terms of how it's measured. And so when you do think of these large amounts of food in relation to a human, you do have to factor in variables such as their weight. And so this is at the heart of the health discussion. But then there is the argument that elite sport is not healthy per se. If we think about elite sport across the range of professional elite sports we have, they're very much extreme pursuits of performance in whatever they may be. If it's speed or strength or endurance, they're not necessarily a practice for longevity or a balance of health issues. They are very much extreme. They are very much these people pushing their bodies to the limit for competition. And these elite athletes know that. They know what their goal is. They're willing to sacrifice, if you like, for performance in their sport. And of course, that does have a risk factor when it comes to their general health. And we do see that many athletes later, after their careers are finished, do have chronic health problems. And then my favorite part of the video, the old orange on the treadmill. And what I'm going to do for this bit is subtitle it for you.
Thursday, to have it as fresh as possible for you guys. Yeah. 10 minutes walk and
I think that was right.
Get back to metabolic and resting metabolic rate.
Essentially, don't suffer from paralysis by analysis here. Due to the powers of technology, you do have applications and websites where you can just put in your information and these calculators will give you your basal metabolic rate or your energy balance, for example, in different formats. Now, there are different formulas involved, but again, don't suffer from this. But then we have other factors for how many calories you are burning, your energy expenditure each day. For example, the thermic effect of food, and we can think about different macronutrients for the actual caloric burn from the digestion and consuming of food. And that's why you hear some people talk about protein, not just for the benefits that it has within the human body, but also for its thermic effect. And then you have how many calories you are burning from moving around, general daily activities and movement which are not exercise session specific, and that is NEAT. And no, I didn't just turn into that awkward guy in the office. Hey Jerry, that was neat. It is literally known as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and these are the amount of calories that you are burning just through your daily movements, walking around, your chores, all those other issues which are not exercise specific. And then we have the exercise specific training where of course you are burning significant calories, and all of this contributes towards your total daily energy expenditure, the amount of calories you are burning over a day. And that's where your energy balance comes in. If you're in a surplus, you can gain weight. If you're at maintenance, you're going to maintain around your body composition. If you're in a caloric deficit, if you're burning more calories than you consume, you are in the position where you can lose fat. And when it comes to the actual calculation, There are different formulas, and you can get a good idea of your energy expenditure. For example, will it be 100% accurate? No, it won't, but it will get you in the ballpark. And so I'm unsure exactly how many calories he burns through his strongman training and his daily movement. I wouldn't want to hazard a guess at that, but for sure it's going to be significant with such a high intensity protocol. And so again, this is not a judgment. This is not a right or wrong per se. This is a decision he's made to compete, if you like, in an extreme sport. And there are very few people who can compete in this sport at that elite level. Their goal is essentially lifting and moving heavy weights. And so I don't think strongmen would say that they are the pinnacle of health, or they are training for longevity or a balance of health. They're very much training for success in what is, in essence, an extreme sport. And when we think about caloric intake and body composition and all these factors, we also have other issues such as, are they natty or are they on the juicy Jaffa cakes, which of course can affect your body composition, your muscle mass. That may affect how many calories you are taking in and all these other issues. And so just an observation again here, not a judgment, an observation. He does breathe very heavy as he walks, as he talks, and really throughout many parts of the video.
The easiest part is the training. The hardest is the diet.
And so that may be another factor that you consider when you're discussing below his caloric intake, his extreme sport that he participates in. And so I think it's really important to say here that this is not a naive person. This is an intelligent man, absolutely. And he's made a decision to compete in an extreme sport, in an elite sport. And I think this attributes to many other people in sports and also in the fitness spheres. You can also apply this to bodybuilding or powerlifting, for example. Different specialisms. These people most likely know that they are sacrificing some element of long-term health or short-term and long-term health in order to be successful in their sport. I'm James Linker, finished.